That was Riding Home with the Reader. We are live off the floor at Conquerall Music. Welcome to the Conquerall Mills Music Show on 88.7 Cove FM and online at covefm.com. This evening, I am featuring the blues, rock, and boogie stylings of the trio Weather Advisory.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago? One is two, two and two's four. Heavy loaded, baby, I'm going out the door, crying, babe, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago? Two and two's four, four and four's eight. Come on, baby, don't you make me be late, crying, babe, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago? Three's nine, nine nine's 18. Looking here, baby, don't you see what I see? Crying, babe, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago? Back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago.
And that was Sweet Home Chicago, originally written by Robert Johnson, but performed by my guests in the studio tonight, Weather Advisory. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having
another hand. Woo! And just to clarify for our listeners at home, we've got Sam Wenzel, who is playing the electric guitar and singing this evening. We've got Sarah Wenzel, who's playing the piano, or the keys, if you will. And their father, Jeff, is playing the drums. So, again, welcome to the show, guys. I want to start by asking you, what is it like playing music as a family? How does that work for you guys?
Well, most of the time, pretty good. I have to say that with my experience playing with other bands, it is nice. We know each other well enough that we can read each other pretty well on stage. And you never know when things pop up in the middle of a song. Maybe, you know, the crowd's really liking it, an extra solo or something. And we can kind of read each other's thoughts without, you know, having to say anything, which is nice. We know each other pretty well that way.
Years and years of history of playing together have culminated in some intuition as to how you all interact. That's excellent. So you started off with the cover. You got one more cover for us, and then you're going to actually switch into some original music. What is the next song you are going to play for us?
That'll be St. James Infirmary Blues.
Oh, excellent. And any particular reason why you chose this song for the evening?
Well, we were fooling around with our cover list and chose this one as kind of a traditional blues style one, and we just like it a lot. So
Awesome. Well, this is the St. James Infirmary as performed by Weather Advisory.
Down in Onzo's barroom on the corner by the square, the usual crowd was assembled, and Big Joe McCanny was there. He was standing at my shoulder, his eyes were bloodshot red. He turned to the crowd around him, and these are the words that he said. I went down to St. James Infirmary. I saw my baby there. She was stretched out along my table, so cold, so soft, and so fair. I said, let it go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she must search this a wild world over. She'll never find a sweet man like me, I know it's true. When I die, I wanna be buried in a top coat and a Stetson hat. Put a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so all the boys know I died standing pat. I want a 6 crab shooters for pallbearers, a chorus girl that'll sing me a song. I want a blues band in my hearse wagon to raise her as we roll along. I said, let it go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she may search this a wild world over. She'll never find a sweet man like me. Rubber-type carriage, roll out your no-time hag. 12 men going to the graveyard, and 11 coming back. Now that I told my story, I'll take another shot of booze. And if anyone should happen to ask me, I got the St. James Infirmary blues. I got the St. James Infirmary blues. I got the St. James Infirmary blues.
And that was the St. James Infirmary Blues as performed again by Weather Advisory. How did Weather Advisory come together as a group? How did it all get started for you all?
Well, it started a few years ago. I was in a band with a couple of my friends, and as things were progressing, there was just 3 of us, one guy on bass and 2 of us on guitar, and we were looking to fill it out a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we managed to rope my father into playing drums. And Sarah was starting to play some blues and boogie and some rock at that time, and so we managed to get her in. And as the years went on, those two guys happened to be off doing their own prospective careers, and we decided to keep it going.
Awesome. And how did you come up with the name Weather Advisory? Where does that come from? I know what a weather advisory is, but how did you guys choose that as the moniker for your band?
That was kind of just so happened that a lot of early shows and a lot of practices freakily had weather issues. Like very weird.
Practice delayed due to rain date, or I guess in this case probably snow and wind and all the awfulness that Nova Scotia winter has to brought upon us, sort of thing.
I think my favorite was all the outdoor shows with thunder and lightning.
Yeah, that's really fun when you're standing out on a stage with electric instruments and things plugged in, and you've got, lightning going off around you and whatnot. Thankfully, none of that's happening tonight, although I can't see what the weather's doing outside right now. But it looked pretty nice last time I was out there. The next song you are going to play for us is actually one of your original songs, Blueberry Special. Can you give us a little bit of a history lesson on this song and where that title comes from?
Well, that song is a history lesson, I guess. It's about a train that traveled from Bridgewater to Middleton. Probably for about 40, 50 years. My parents actually rode on the train. And a lot of people think the train was slow, but actually what it was, the upgrades on the tracks came up from Bridgewater and down from Middleton, but usually they never met in the middle.
Yes.
So the engineers were understanding orders to slow down in the center part of the track. So a lot of people found that frustrating, and the joke came out of it that it was so slow you could jump off the front and pick blueberries and hop back on the back. I think that's a common thing in old trains in Nova Scotia, but it certainly was a name that stuck to this particular train. So we decided to write a song about it.
That's excellent. And I know also the line that used to run out in Hebville, just a couple minutes away from where the studio is here, that I think it was the Bull Run or something, and they had the name for that, and that because the cows would follow along beside the edge of the track as it was going along. So nifty little tidbits of history from Lunenburg County. This is Blueberry Special as performed by Weather Advisory.
She's the blueberry special, and she ain't very fast. And if you're in a hurry, well, it just makes her laugh. I lost my job when the mill burned down. I heard about another in a valley town. Uncle sent word they're looking for men. Better get here soon, I better get here now. She's the blueberry special, and she ain't very fast. And if you're in a hurry, well, it just makes her laugh. I boarded that train, the conductor said, son, I see you're in a hurry, and the so very sad. 'Cause if I ever get there, the work will be gone, and there'll be no time to go home. So she's the blueberry special, and she ain't very fast. And if you're in a hurry, well, it just makes her laugh. Train leaves the station and heads inland. Germany, in a neat tall town. She arrives in Middleton, then turns around, heads down the line, back to her hometown. She's the Blueberry Special, and she ain't very fast. And if you're in a hurry, well, it just makes her laugh.
And that song was called Blueberry Special by my guest tonight, Weather Advisory. We are going to take our first break here on the Conquerall Mills Music Show. Please stay tuned for more from Weather Advisory after the break. Welcome back to Conquerall Music for the Conquerall Mills Music Show with my guests this evening, Sarah, Sam, and Jeff of Weather Advisory. My next question for you is sort of a two-parter, and this is split between Sarah and Sam for the first part, and then I'm going to ask Jeff sort of the same question, but slightly differently. You're all currently living in Lunenburg County, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
And Sarah and Sam, you're around my age, young people here playing music in Lunenburg County. I'm wondering why you chose to remain here instead of going to a place like the city or moving out west to do work. What has kept you in Lunenburg County?
Speaking for myself, I'm definitely what you call a country girl for sure. Just love the county, love the area, the people. Being born and raised here, couldn't quite see moving away, and really enjoy entertaining the folks that I know in the area.
Good answer.
For me, I gotta ditto quite a bit of her answer. I'm gonna say pretty much the same thing, but also just kind of I do know that it's a little bit more challenging out here, and you're like you mentioned, like why not go to the city or out west or something like that. I figured, why not stay and see if I can do something to make kind of a difference.
In your local area, give back to the community, contribute to the area that you live in, right?
Promote some shows and work here and spend my money here and do stuff like that. So that's kind of why I stayed. Yeah.
Awesome. And Jeff, for you, this question only changes slightly. Why did you choose to live in Lunenburg County and raise your kids here?
Well, I've been here my whole life, and I love the land, I love the people, so it really wasn't a decision.
Not a tough decision.
No,
it was kind
no.
of once you were here, you knew this
Oh
is
yeah,
where you
I
wanted to
like
be.
it here. So
Excellent. Well, let's keep the music rolling along. What are you going to play for us next?
it's a song. It's called "Lazy Day." It's kind of it's a little out of character for us. It's a slow song. It's just about lazy Sunday afternoons on the LaHave River.
Oh, perfect.
Floating down the river, my hands on the line. Got no worries, got no mind for the time. Just floating down the river, feeling fine. Floating down the river don't cost a dime. Work's all done, it's a lazy afternoon. If I had a guitar, I'll play you a tune. This old river can really give you a ride. Today she's behaving, this canoe just glides. Don't get me wrong, like to earn my keep. It's just that this river runs so cool and deep. I could go to work right now if I wanted to, but I got something better to do. Floating down the river, my hands on the line. Got no words, got no mind for the time. I probably won't catch a fish on this line. Didn't bait the hook, didn't have the time. Floating down the river, my hands on the line. Got no words, got no mind for the time. Just floating down the river, feeling fine. Floating down the river don't cost a dime.
So that song was Lazy Day, an original composition written by Weather Advisory. As a group, where do you draw your inspiration from when it comes to songwriting and coming up with ideas for songs?
Well, it kind of varies. So as you've already heard, we've got one that was kind of local history, but we kind of stay in there and we do a lot on history. We got one coming up on basically based on folklore.
Oh, cool.
So that's a little later on, but basically whatever hits us. So if we have an idea for a song, it can be whatever mood we're in. It could be whatever. And we've taken from a few different things, and it's usually kind of inspired by what we like.
Okay, and so this is a good way to lead into the next question that I'm going to ask you. How do you go about actually then writing the music? Like once you have the idea and you know it's a theme that you want to write a song about, how does it come together as a song? Is it a democratic process, or does one person sort of say, this is what you're going to play and this is what you're going to play, and that's all there is to it?
Actually, some of the songs Sam has written pretty much completely on his own. Most of them has been a group effort. Sometimes I write the lyrics and I bring them to Sarah and Sam, and then they put the music. But usually, everybody makes suggestions, and it can take us quite a while to bring a song to the point where we'll play it. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much the way we operate when it comes to writing songs.
So there is a little bit of a revision process from the time that you initially come up with the song to the point that you're ready to debut it to an audience.
Some of them we're still revising. Yes.
Ongoing process, right? Let's have another song. What are you going to play for us next?
We're going to play one called Make My Day.
Ooh, I like the title of that. There's no bones about that. What's this one about?
Well, this is kind of a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek one, actually. And this one's more or less like one of those days where you don't want to talk to anyone. And it's to the point where you'll actually hide and turn out the lights and pretend like you're not home. And so it's kind of one of those.
All right. Well, this one is Make My Day by Weather Advisory.
knocking on my door. Woke up this morning and I crawled on the floor. Woke up this morning to a knocking on my door. Say, why can't anyone leave me alone anymore? Whiskey and then I douse a light. Well, my whiskey and then I feel alright. Pour my whiskey and then I douse a light. Pour my whiskey and then I feel alright. Say, why can't anyone leave me alone anymore? Say, why can't anyone leave me alone anymore? Crawl on the floor. Woke up this morning to a knocking on my door. Woke up this morning and I crawl on the floor. Woke up this morning to a knocking on my door. Saying, why can't anyone leave me alone anymore? Why can't anyone leave me alone anymore?
And that was another original song from my guest tonight, Weather Advisory, called Make My Day. You cite in your biography artists like John Lee Hooker, Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis, Otis Spann, and George Thorogood as influences for the band. I want to know, how did you get into listening to those artists and that style of music?
Well, that would be growing up with Dad.
So maybe this would be a good question to ask Dad. How did you get into listening to that type of music, Jeff?
Well, growing up, it was just the type of music I guess I was drawn to, and the albums I bought, listening to it was a Halifax radio station in the 70s that played blues, I think, on a I think it was a Sunday evening, and I was just drawn to that and the old rock and roll, George Thorogood. And so I had a record collection, and when these guys came along, they started to listen to it. So
now it's their record collection?
I think so, yes.
Has it gone that far yet? No.
Actually, I borrow theirs now. So, yeah.
And what is it about, those were just a few artists that I mentioned. I'm sure there are more, but what is it about their music? What do you find influential from that? What do you draw on from their art that you put into your art?
Oh, it's got to be the mood, the feeling. Some of those are more energetic ones, such as like George Thorogood or any of the classic rock that draws off of blues. And then you got the slower blues stuff like the Otis Spann, the John Lee Hooker, though some of that can be quite fast. But like, it just kind of depends on the mood you're in, and you really feel it. Like it's something that you really, you notice it.
Well, I like what you've been playing so far. Nice upbeat music for our little crowd that we've got here this evening. People are probably sick of hearing me continue to talk. So what are you planning to play for us next?
We're going to play a tune called Devil's Trap.
Yeah, and you've got these interesting song titles. You're going to have to tell me what's this one about.
This one kind of came out of the Robert Johnson legend, kind of like the Faustian legend, where the legend, for those who don't know it, Robert Johnson, the legend behind him was that he had gone down to the crossroads one night at midnight, sold his soul to the devil, and that was why he was such a great guitar player and great singer, as a blues musician. So I've been hearing all these songs referencing that, and a lot of people have been working it into their music, and they all were playing on that, went down to the crossroads and sold my soul. And I also grew up with a bit of an interest in folklore and Halloween and stuff like that. So I kind of turned it around. Instead of going down to make a deal with the devil, I'm going down to get revenge on the devil for something like that. So I'm meeting him for that reason.
Killer. Well, this is called Devil's Trap by Weather Advisory.
I'm going down to the crossroads with salt shot in my gun. I'm going down to the crossroads with salt shot in my gun. I'm gonna beat him with a deal to bring him out tonight. I'm gonna take that demon and send him back home. I'm gonna take that demon and send him back home. Seeking my revenge for taking my baby from me. Some people go down there looking for advice. Some people go down there to win the trouble and strife. Well, I'm going down there to end his life. Found me a voodoo woman who told me what to do. I found me a voodoo woman who told me what to do. And if you lay down your money, I'll share with you. Down to the crossroads with salt shot in my gun. I'm going down to the crossroads with salt shot in my gun. I'm gonna beat him with a deal to bring him out tonight. I'm gonna beat him with my soul to bring him out tonight.
And that was Devil's Trap by Weather Advisory. We are going to take our last commercial break on the Conquerall Mills Music Show. Please stay tuned for more music after these messages.
Is it still on the hill where I go and get my fill? Is it still on the hill where I go and get my fill? And when the man asks around, you know nobody will tell. Well, the old man's got a gun and he shoots it just for fun. Well, the old man's got a gun and he shoots it just for fun. You know he'll get caught, you know his day will come. When they come to take you for a ride, you better slip outside. When they come to take you for a ride, you better slip outside. Well, it's all well and fair, but the devil's inside. Stop talking, you better keep walking. When they stop talking, you better keep walking. Well, you got to beware of the smooth talker. There's a still on the hill where I go and get my fill. There's a still on the hill where I go and get my fill. And when the man asks around, you know nobody will tell. When the mass around, you know nobody will tell.
That song was The Still on the Hill. Welcome back to the Conquerall Mills Music Show with Jeff, Sam, and Sarah performing as the trio Weather Advisory. Let's give them another round of applause. So what can you tell me about The Still on the Hill?
Well, not much. We gotta keep that. We gotta keep that secret, or else everyone's gonna go. Actually, that one I was starting to play around with slide quite a bit and coming up, finding out about these different riffs and figuring them out. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and as I mentioned before, our influence in songwriting kind of started thinking about all the colorful history to the local area and started reading about and hearing about and thinking about all the colorful people I've met, plus also in history books of the area. And every verse has something significant, either someone I've met or someone I've heard about. And also like bootlegging from back in Prohibition days, had read a bit about that. So kind of put it all together, and that's what came out.
A proud part of our Nova Scotian heritage right there. That's what we're known for.
That's actually why we started fishing. No. Just kidding.
It's a side business, you know. You guys have been pretty busy as a band because I've had the pleasure of doing sound for you at various local events around here. I'm thinking of Growing Green Fest in years past. I'm thinking of the Afterglow Art Festival and various and sundry little concerts that sort of go on around the Lunenburg County area. And unfortunately, by the time this airs, this will have passed, but you guys are actually one of the groups who are playing as part of the Cove FM Kitchen Party fundraiser on May 26th at the Shore Club. If anyone's here is interested in that, they're doing a big fundraiser for the station. And I want to know, beyond that, when this goes to air, it'll be the end of May. Do you have any gigs coming up over the course of the summer, off the top of your head, things that you might be playing, things that you want to play?
Well, I think that was going to be the one we were going to mention, but as you say, this is going to air right after it. So we've actually got a few lined up, or a few that we're in the process of finalizing currently, that are coming up in the summer and fall. And I know we're playing for the... you want to jump in there?
The 55 plus games that I think it's Events Lunenburg County.
Events Lunenburg County
is hosting in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be playing there in September.
Awesome.
And for those who are interested in checking out what we're doing, we do have a website, and that's at www.weatheradvisoryband.com. And you can also find us on Facebook and on the Twitter.
You guys tweet?
Yep, a little bit.
Live stream updates about every aspect of your life that's going on right now?
Not quite with our internet connection, but...
Just the pertinent stuff.
All right. Well, let's keep the music rolling along. What are you guys going to play for us next?
It's a song called The Cure.
The Cure. And this one, we've been told, we were instructed before you guys started up this segment that there's going to be some audience participation in this one. So hope everyone's ready to clap along.
I went to school, didn't want to be I worked on a farm that fed the body, but it didn't feed my mind, it didn't suit my soul. The only thing it does is play rock and roll. I worked in a mill that paid my bills, yeah. I worked in a store, you know, was a bore, but it didn't feed my mind, it didn't suit my soul. The only thing it does is play rock and roll. I worked in a truck, it just brought bad luck. I worked a factory line, nearly lost my mind, but it didn't feed my mind, it didn't suit my soul. The only thing it does is play rock and roll. For public office, but you know I couldn't lie. I'd sit in a cubicle, but I'd rather die. It's true, 'cause it wouldn't feed my mind, it wouldn't suit my soul. The only thing it does is play rock and roll. It didn't feed my mind, it didn't suit my soul. The only thing it does is play rock and roll. It didn't feed my mind, it didn't suit my soul. The only thing that does is play and rock and roll. It didn't feel my mind, it didn't suit my soul. The only thing that does is play and rock and roll. It didn't feel my mind, it didn't suit my soul. The only thing that does is play and rock and roll. It didn't feel my mind, it didn't suit my soul. The only thing that does is play and rock and roll. Yeah.
I've got a quick question to ask all of you, sort of respectively. This was one that wasn't in my list of questions, so hopefully this doesn't catch you off guard. But just briefly, if we could move through the lineup here and just ask how did each of you respectively get your start in music? We talked about how you came together as a group, but where did you all start playing, and what did you start playing?
Let's go with Dad first. Chronological order.
Thanks. I did start playing a long time ago, I guess. It was the early 70s. My father he was putting together a band, and he needed a drummer. So that Christmas I got drums.
And away you went, never looked back since.
So that kind of shaped it right there, yeah.
I got my start with, I guess it was an upright piano in my parents' house and some old chord books lying around, I think, of Mom's, and actually started with Christmas carols, learned how to chord, and just kind of picked around, and then I took up some band instruments by the time I got to grade 8 or so, I think.
Oh, yes, back in the
Yes,
Headville
that's
band
right.
days and the
Yes,
Parkview
we were
band
in the band
days. I
together.
remember being in band class with you.
Yes, with the old Barry sax. And just kind of went from there. I started studying some classical and getting more into the blues and the rock, and just, here we are.
Excellent.
I started off in elementary school with fiddle and violin music. And as it went on, I ended up in junior high. I was in Hebbville, a band with trumpet as well, different time. And then once I was I think 15. I all along I've been listening to that blues and rock music, so I decided I wanted to play guitar, and that's what I've been with ever since.
And do you ever pick up the fiddle and still rip that every now and again, or
Every once in a while.
when the holidays are around, people are around? Let's have another song from you guys. What are you going to play for us next?
We're gonna play one called Joe's Boogie. Got up in the morning, the room was dark. Well, went back to bed, 'cause it was too soon to start. Well, song comes up, song go down. There's a time to party and a time to go town. I don't mind work, mine done yesterday. Well, song go down, I just wanna play. Well, song comes up, song go down. There's a time to party and a time to go town. Rock and roll, I like to sing the blues. Well, they got jazz, I love this boogie tune. Well, song comes up, song go down. There's a time to party and a time to go down. In the morning, the room was dark. Well, went back to bed, 'cause it was too soon to start. Well, song comes up, song go down. There's a time to party and a time to go down. We'd like to thank everyone who came out tonight and everyone who tuned in at home.
And that was Joe's Boogie by my guests in the studio, Sam, Sarah, and Jeff, performing together as the trio Weather Advisory. Let's give them another round. Thanks for coming in, guys. The Conquerall Mills Music Show is hosted, produced, and mixed by Stefan Ramey and recorded by Adam Fancy. To hear previous episodes of the Conquerall Mills Music Show, please visit our YouTube channel at Conquerall Music, and don't forget to subscribe to receive updates when new episodes are available. Please join me next week, where my guests will be the hard rockin' drum and bass duo Dirt Stash. You have been listening to the Conquerall Mills Music Show on 88.7 CKVE Cove FM and online at covefm.com. Please stay tuned for Time Machine with Bob McDonald at 9 p.m. Have a great evening.